Have you ever noticed how some mornings you wake up feeling like you've barely slept at all? You drag your feet to the kitchen, make your usual breakfast, maybe even take your vitamins, and yet, by mid-morning, your energy is already fading. You tell yourself it's just part of getting older, but what if I told you that it might have less to do with age and more to do with a few innocent mistakes you're making every morning? That's right. The way we start our day, especially what we eat, plays a huge role in how we feel, how much energy we have, and how alert or sluggish we are by the time lunchtime rolls around. And the tricky part is, most of us don't even realize we're doing anything wrong. Because these habits, they seem harmless. In fact, many of them are things we were taught were healthy. But as our bodies change with age, our nutritional needs change too. In today's video, I want to share something important with you. 5 simple but powerful changes you can make to your morning routine that can help restore your energy, lift that foggy feeling, and help you feel more alive and active, no matter your age. Let's talk about the foods and food habits that may be quietly draining your vitality each day, and more importantly, how to fix them easily, starting tomorrow morning. So, let's start with something that many people over 60 swear by: skipping breakfast. Maybe you've heard someone say, "I'm just not hungry in the morning," or "I'm trying to lose weight, so I skip breakfast." Sounds familiar, right? But here's the thing, our bodies, especially as we age, need consistent fuel to keep our blood sugar stable and our minds sharp. Skipping breakfast might seem like a good idea if you're watching your weight, but for many older adults, it backfires. When you go too long without food, your blood sugar drops and your body starts running on fumes. That's when you feel lightheaded, tired, and even a bit irritable. Even worse, skipping breakfast often leads to overeating later in the day. Your body gets into survival mode, so by the time lunch or dinner comes around, your hunger is more intense, and you're more likely to reach for foods high in sugar or fat for quick energy. And guess what? That just sends your energy and your mood on another roller coaster. Instead, think of breakfast as your morning recharge. It doesn't have to be a big, heavy meal. Something as simple as a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries, a slice of whole grain toast with avocado, or a smoothie with some greens and protein can do wonders. It's about giving your body the steady fuel it needs to function its best, physically and mentally. Now, let's talk about another sneaky mistake: starting your morning with just a cup of tea or coffee and nothing else. I get it. It's cozy, it's a routine, and that warm mug in your hands feels like a gentle nudge into the day. But while caffeine can give you that initial jolt of energy, it doesn't last. What's really happening is your adrenal system is being pushed to release stress hormones like cortisol, which can give you temporary alertness but at a cost. When you drink caffeine on an empty stomach, it increases stomach acid, which can cause discomfort or even digestive issues like heartburn, especially in older adults. Plus, it sends your blood sugar on a quick rise and fall, leaving you even more tired once the caffeine wears off. That's why you might feel great for an hour after your morning coffee, and then suddenly find yourself yawning and reaching for a second or third cup. A better option? If you love your coffee or tea, by all means, enjoy it. But have something alongside it. Even a small handful of nuts, a banana, or a boiled egg can balance out the caffeine's effects and give your body something to work with. Pairing caffeine with protein or healthy fats helps steady your blood sugar and protects your energy levels throughout the morning. And speaking of energy, here's one more thing that often gets overlooked: starting the day with too much sugar. That innocent-looking bowl of cereal, those flavored yogurts, even some breakfast bars, they can be packed with hidden sugars. You might not taste it, especially if you've gotten used to sweet flavors, but your body notices. What happens is that sugary breakfast foods spike your blood sugar quickly, At first, you feel great, energized, awake, maybe even cheerful. But then your insulin kicks in, pulls that sugar out of your blood, and suddenly you crash. You feel sleepy, sluggish, and mentally foggy. It's like your energy just walked out the door, leaving you behind with nothing but a craving for more sugar. This blood sugar roller coaster becomes harder to manage as we get older because our metabolism naturally slows down and our insulin sensitivity can decrease. That means we're more prone to energy dips, weight gain, and even type 2 diabetes if we're not careful. So, what's the fix? Instead of sugary breakfast cereals or pastries, try. Now that we've gotten a handle on those early missteps, like skipping breakfast and relying too heavily on caffeine or sugar, let's look at something that often slips through the cracks. Not getting enough hydration first thing in the morning. You see, we often talk about what to eat, but we forget that what we drink or don't drink can shape the way we feel all day. Think about this. You've gone roughly 8 hours without a sip of water while you were asleep. That's a long time for your body to go without fluids, especially considering that every cell in your body, your muscles, your brain, your heart, depends on hydration to function well. And as we age, our sense of thirst naturally becomes less sharp. That means you might not feel thirsty, even when your body is already dehydrated. The result? You wake up groggy, your joints feel stiff, your mouth is dry, and you might even have a slight headache. That's your body saying, "Please give me water." But instead, many people reach for coffee or tea first thing, which are actually diuretics, meaning they cause you to lose even more fluid. It's like being in a drought and pouring water down the drain. Here's a simple fix. Keep a glass of water next to your bed or in the bathroom, and drink it first thing in the morning before anything else. Just 8 to 12 ounces of water can help rehydrate your system, kickstart your metabolism, and flush out toxins that build up overnight. Some people even like adding a squeeze of lemon for a gentle detox effect. And a little vitamin C boost. It's not magic, it's just a small act of kindness to your body, and it can set a healthier tone for the rest of the day. Now, while we're on the subject of what we eat, let's talk about a mistake that many people don't realize is quietly zapping their energy. Relying too much on refined carbs in the morning. You might not call it that. Maybe you just think of it as toast or a muffin or a white bagel with some jam. But refined carbohydrates, those that have been stripped of their fiber, turn quickly into sugar in the body. And what did we just learn about too much sugar early in the day? That's right, it gives you that quick high, then crashes your energy right back down. Now here's the kicker. Refined carbs not only drain your energy, but they don't keep you full. That means within an hour or two, you're hungry again, reaching for a snack and repeating the cycle all over again. And the worst part is, many people think they're choosing light or easy to digest options for breakfast when they grab a piece of toast with jelly or a bowl of cornflakes. But what you really need, especially over the age of 60, is sustained energy from complex carbs, fiber, and protein that your body can digest slowly and evenly. A better approach? Try switching your morning bread to whole grain or sprouted grain versions. If you like toast, top it with almond butter or some cottage cheese and sliced cucumber. If you enjoy cereal, choose high-fiber options like steel-cut oats or bran. Pair it with some protein, maybe a boiled egg, a slice of smoked salmon, or even some nuts and seeds. These choices will help stabilize your blood sugar, keep you satisfied longer, and support your energy without those nasty crashes. And I want to mention something else that might surprise you, not getting enough protein in the morning. This is one of the most overlooked needs for people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. You see, as we age, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. The best defense against that? Consistent protein intake throughout the day, especially at breakfast. But let's be honest, most traditional breakfasts are heavy on carbs and light on protein. A slice of toast here, a bowl of cereal there, and by the end of the meal, you've only had a few grams of protein, if any, at all. That's not enough to support your muscles, your brain function, or your energy. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders, it's the key to aging well. It helps keep your muscles strong, your bones stable, and your metabolism running efficiently. So, what can you do? Aim to include some form of protein with every breakfast. It doesn't have to be complicated. A couple of eggs, a small protein shake, Greek yogurt, tofu scramble, or even leftovers like a piece of chicken or lentil soup. These can be your morning heroes. Even adding chia seeds or hemp hearts to your oatmeal gives you a surprising protein boost. The trick is to make it a habit. Once you start your day with protein, you'll notice a difference in your stamina, your appetite, and even your clarity of mind. These small changes, hydrating early, ditching the refined carbs, and prioritizing protein, can truly transform how you feel by 10 a.m. And what's most encouraging is that you don't have to overhaul your entire diet or wake up 2 hours earlier to make these shifts. You just need a little awareness, a little planning, and a willingness to listen to what your body's. Now, before we bring everything together, let's talk about one final mistake that often goes unnoticed, but it can quietly chip away at your energy. Day after day, it's eating without mindfulness. Now, I know that might sound a bit unusual. How could how you eat be just as important as what you eat? But bear with me. Picture this. You pour yourself a bowl of cereal, grab a coffee, and turn on the TV. Maybe you scroll through your phone or catch up on the morning news, and before you know it, your breakfast is gone. But somehow you didn't really taste it. You didn't enjoy it, and now, oddly enough, you don't feel satisfied physically or emotionally. Maybe you even feel like eating again an hour later. That's because your brain and your stomach weren't in sync. When we eat while distracted, we miss the signals that help us digest food properly, regulate hunger, and absorb nutrients efficiently. Your body processes a mindful meal differently than one eaten in a rush or while your attention is split. Digestion improves, satisfaction improves, and energy. You guessed it, it lasts longer. So what does it mean to eat mindfully? It means giving yourself permission to slow down, to sit down at the table, to take a few deep breaths before eating, to really taste your food. Notice the texture, the flavor, even the warmth. It doesn't have to be a long ritual. Just a few quiet, intentional moments can shift the entire tone of your morning. This small habit helps not just your digestion, but also your mood, your focus, and your relationship with food overall. Now, let's pull this all together. You see, these aren't just 5 random tips. They're powerful reminders that your body, at every age, deserves nourishment, attention, and care. Skipping breakfast, leaning too heavily on caffeine or sugar, forgetting to hydrate, choosing refined carbs over whole ones, skimping on protein and rushing through meals. They're easy mistakes to make, especially when life is busy or you've followed the same habits for decades. But the beauty of it is this. No matter how long you've been doing something a certain way, it's never too late to shift. And the moment you do, even just a little, you'll start to feel the difference. Spend more energy, more clarity, more balance in your day. These aren't just nutrition tips. They're steps toward honoring your body and giving it the support it needs to thrive. I know that changing habits can feel overwhelming sometimes, especially when you've been doing things a certain way for years. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. Small changes create big ripples. You don't need to transform your entire routine overnight. Start with one change. Maybe tomorrow morning you reach for a glass of water before your coffee, or you add an egg to your breakfast, or you sit down and eat without distractions for 5 minutes. These aren't giant leaps. They're gentle steps, and they count. Your health, your energy, your joy. They're all still within your reach. Age doesn't limit your ability to feel vibrant, clear-headed, and alive. In fact, this stage of life can be one of the most powerful times to take ownership of how you feel each day. And it starts right at sunrise with the choices you make at the breakfast table. So now, I want to ask you, have you noticed any of these habits sneaking into your morning routine? Are there small changes you're ready to try? I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what's worked for you or what you're curious to try. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It really supports the channel and helps this message reach others who need it. And of course, if you're passionate about feeling better and living well after 60, make sure to subscribe. We talk about topics that matter: health, independence, vitality, and making the most of every chapter of life. Because growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about how we care for ourselves. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I hope you walk away feeling inspired, supported, and empowered to take on your day with more energy and intention. You deserve to feel good. You deserve mornings that fuel you, not drain you. And every step you take toward better habits is a step toward a brighter, more vibrant you. Here's to living your best life at any age.